Breaking news, a driver crashes into a Port Charlotte home overnight. You'll hear from witnesses straight ahead.
Plus, a Cape Coral man is arrested more than a year after the alleged crash he caused. You'll hear why Cape Coral police say they locked him up.
And a Palm Beach County deputy killed while off the job. What detectives are saying about the investigation right now.
Breaking news, Charlotte County deputies are investigating after a driver crashed into a Port Charlotte home overnight. That crash happened just before 3:30 this morning along Lakeshore Circle, just south of Midway Boulevard.
Gulf Coast News reporter Lacey Lee is at the home speaking with neighbors about what they saw.
The homeowners did not want to go on camera. However, they tell me they are doing fine and that they didn't even hear when that car came crashing into their home. But take a look, because we're getting a view of the aftermath. 2 damaged cars on the driveway here. And also take a look because we're seeing damage to the garage. Neighbors I spoke to say this is an unfortunate thing that happened. However, they are not shocked.
These people fly up and down this road 45, 50 miles an hour. Every day, every night. We've lost our mailbox 3 times. They've tagged that telephone pole 3 or 4 times. It's just crazy.
Homeowners here along Lakeshore Circle in Port Charlotte left picking up the pieces after someone drove onto their property, leaving a path of destruction. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office says Northport police were after the driver on suspicion of impaired driving. He was taken into custody. The homeowner tells me the driver had to have been speeding because these 2 cars were parked straight in the driveway, and they've since been pushed over and are damaged. Neighbors say more needs to be done along this sharp turn road to prevent something like this from happening again.
They put these signs up a couple years ago. That's it. That's all they've done. Well, you see the speed limit sign right there says 30. It should be 15 around this whole curve. My grandson lives right there half the time and next door. And he's always outside playing basketball or soccer. And it scares me when the ball goes out of the road. I got to yell at him to stop, because they fly around this corner. Neighbors
say having more police presence in this area can help resolve the ongoing issue of speeding, and the homeowners are now dealing with their insurance companies in hopes of resolving this mess. And for now, reporting in Port Charlotte, Lacey Lee, Gulf Coast News.
A similar situation happened over the weekend in Lehigh Acres. Lee County deputies say Enrique Mateo Francisco crashed a car into a home along Haviland Avenue near 27th Street Southwest. The crash was so powerful, it actually pinned the garage door against the back wall and caused a whole lot of damage. Deputies say Enrique does not have a driver's license.
Now to breaking news. Cape Coral police arrested a man a year and a half after a crash accused of driving under the influence. We know it happened on September 15th, 2023 along Tropicana Parkway and Santa Barbara Boulevard. Officers arresting Devin Heminger after they say he crashed into a car going north on Santa Barbara Boulevard. The victim was with his daughter at the time of the crash. Now, his daughter is fine. However, the man has serious injuries. Police later got a search warrant and determined he was driving under the influence. More breaking news into the Gulf Coast newsroom. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says corrections deputy Basil Powell was murdered in a targeted attack. The Sheriff's Office says he was returning home overnight and appears he was ambushed after someone opened fire while Powell got out of his car. It happened Monday night in Belle Glade, southeast of Clewiston.
Caleb Califano is there sharing what we know about the corrections deputy who was killed.
We are just a few blocks away from that scene, which is now clear. For context, Belle Glade is a community in a rural area of western Palm Beach County. The Sheriff's Office says just after 7:30 last night, they received reports of gunfire in the area. First responders found Deputy Sheriff Basil Powell, who was off duty, shot multiple times. According to the Sheriff's Office, they say he was, quote, ambushed while arriving home. Overnight, there was then a procession as his body was moved from the hospital to the medical examiner's office. At this time, no arrest has been announced, but the Sheriff's Office believes the victim was targeted. In Belle Glade, Caleb Califano, Gulf Coast News.
Longtime President Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon pled guilty to defrauding donors. Those donors were looking to help build a wall on the southern border. Bannon's plea deal stipulates he will be given a 3-year conditional discharge. This means he won't go to prison as long as he stays out of trouble. He faced a max sentence of 5 to 15 years on the most serious charge.
Right now, more than 24 religious groups representing millions of Americans are suing the Trump administration. The lawsuit challenges a Trump administration move giving immigration agents more leeway to make more arrests at houses of worship. The lawsuit contends the new policy is spreading fear of raids and therefore lowering attendance at worship services and other church programs. The lawsuit says this is infringing on their religious freedom.
Also, Florida lawmakers are meeting in less than an hour after Governor Ron DeSantis called for a special session. The Florida legislature is talking about ways to execute President Donald Trump's plan to crack down on illegal immigration. Governor DeSantis previously called for a special session on immigration last month, but lawmakers rejected the call. The special session starts at noon today and will run through Friday at noon.
From your Collier County News team, Collier County commissioners are meeting right now, and they're talking about immigration enforcement. The Collier County Sheriff's Office is at the meeting saying that a closed border could increase drug importation and water-related border crossings. And now the Sheriff's Office is looking for money to beef up patrols. We have a reporter there, and we will have reports coming up in our later newscast with what, if anything, is decided.
SunPass-related scams, unfortunately, are on the rise, and now SunPass is warning drivers not to click on links in random texts or even emails after the state already shut down hundreds of fake websites and a lot of illegal call centers. Many of you say you're getting texts claiming you owe money for unpaid tolls. The message appears legit, even linking you to what appears to be a SunPass site. However, some folks who are getting the text say they notice some red flags pretty quickly.
I mean, I have SunPass, and I know what the SunPass website is, so I see something that comes from Wei Jinping or some sort of like weird address, like or some of these other. I could tell it wasn't legit.
Also, look for the number that's sending you the text. Those texts demand payments, threatening late fees or legal action if you don't pay up. Florida's Attorney General says clicking on links in the text take you to fake payment portals. This is where scammers can steal your card information, also your personal data. SunPass says they don't believe their system was compromised.
Should be arrested and thrown in jail for driving while intoxicated on a lawnmower.
Right now, Lee County deputies want you to take a look at this video and see if you know who this guy is. They say he mowed down at least 2 mailboxes while riding a lawnmower in San Carlos Park. Wait for it, wait. Oh, this happened Friday afternoon along Robin Road. The dude was caught on multiple home security cameras, too. Neighbors say the man left a Pittsburgh Steelers hat and a pair of sunglasses behind.
Egregious. Absolutely disgusting, but it's so funny. I could watch it 100 times. I hope they get him.
She said this is probably going to be the most Floridian experience you've ever experienced.
You and I hope you at least paid for these mailboxes to be fixed. Definitely don't hit my mailbox and don't hit my truck.
Nope. 2 mailboxes he did hit. They're actually not far from each other. If you know who the suspect is, call the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
From your Charlotte County News team, right now, commissioners are meeting to talk about an investigation into a county policy violation. Commissioner Stephen Deutsch allegedly used the N-word in a meeting with the Metropolitan Planning Executive Director, Dwan Harris. Harris claims Deutsch said when he was a child, his friend's mother would call her son the N-word, saying it was a term of endearment and not meant to be offensive. Harris says as he was exiting the room, Deutsch raised his fist in the air, chanting, "Fight, fight, fight," impersonating President Trump's chants after an assassination attempt.
From your Collier County News team, commissioners there are meeting right now, and they're talking about changing rules to allow food truck parks. County staff is recommending to county commissioners that they allow for the proposed changes. Gulf Coast News will let you know what happens from here.
The Fort Myers Beach local planning agency wants to know what you think before they do make a vote on a food truck park. Right now, the local planning agency is meeting and will take another vote after 2 tied votes of 3 to 3 Thursday. The food truck park would go on Estero Boulevard near Chapel Street and Cottage Avenue. Gulf Coast News reporter Mercedes Martinez is at the proposed site telling us where discussions currently stand.
One of the big topics being talked about today is, will this empty lot sitting along Estero Boulevard on Fort Myers Beach be the next hangout spot? This empty lot has been sitting here ever since Hurricane Ian ripped through and washed out some homes. The proposed idea for this area, a food truck park. Today, the Fort Myers Beach Local Planning Agency is looking at updated renderings of the proposed food truck park that would sit along Estero Boulevard right in front of where the Chapel by the Sea Church once stood. The plan is to have a maximum of 5 mobile vendors, fully underground utility hookups, and additional outdoor seating adjacent to Estero Boulevard. The presentation also included limiting the hours of operations and outdoor entertainment. The Pelican Watch Condo Association argues the project would negatively impact neighboring residential properties by increasing noise and light pollution, reducing property values, and disrupting quality of life. But people we spoke with this morning say they're actually excited for it.
I truly believe that the more attractions there are for people, the more people will come to the beach.
I'm looking forward to what's going to happen to this place in a couple of years when we will be back.
If the LPA votes in favor of this idea, it will then be up to Town Council to decide if this moves forward. The meeting is still currently in session. Live on Fort Myers Beach, Mercedes Martinez, Gulf Coast News.
Here you go, Michael.
Oh my gosh.
The blind auditions continue on NBC's The Voice, and Florida is being represented on the national stage. We'll introduce you to the singer from the Sunshine State with the big vocals.
Plus, I'm finally tracking a cold front working into the Gulf Coast. I'll show you the timing and how much colder it'll get.
Black history is Gulf Coast history. From the pioneers who built this region to the peacekeepers who protected it, the dreamers who united our community, and the champions who changed it. Gulf Coast News is proud to celebrate Black History Month, honoring those who shaped our past and inspire our future.
Closed captioning on Gulf Coast NBC, sponsored by Rebath.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've battled against insurance company giants, and we've won a lot. Injured, we became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason.